Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, James, so good to see you again. Tell me about this new movie you have coming up.
The best way to explain it is visual. Like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Keepers of the Five Kingdoms. And there I am. I play Uncle Chuck. And this is the leading lady, a very pretty lady. And a young man here is doing very well. Matt Sato and a lot of Disney stuff. And of course, the evil lady, Bai Ling, I'm sure most of you. And of course, uh, my very good friend George Takei is doing me a favor, being the voice of a tortoise. And I should send you the comment he wrote. He loves the dialogue of the tortoise of giving me the human being the advice of what to do in life, and I carry it out and et cetera, et cetera. So it's that kind of a movie, It's got a turtle, it's got a toad, and it's got a ghost, it's got vampires, and a lot of it comes from my family background. In other words, my mother came from China, and I remember her very well. She used to read these Chinese fairy tales, and I don't know if you ever met some of the old people from China. They call it Bei Shu, and that's their entertainment. Bei means read out loud the book, So I would hear those, and if it kind of got into my system. So I put some of these fables that she read into this movie for the people of America. So it's a sort of a movie that's filled with mystical magic and action packing for people of all ages, but especially, as the reviewer said, it's mainly for the 16 to the 10 to 17-year-old. But I'm sure, Rick, you would enjoy this movie. It's that kind of movie. If did you like, for instance, like The Goonies, the
Oh,
movie?
right. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's that kind
Exactly.
of movie, except with a Asian touch.
So I saw you were the producer for this movie as well. Was it like a labor of love because, like you said, you kind of reminded you of the stories your mom used to tell you, or what made you
Mhm.
decide to put this together?
Well, Rick, goes back to being a producer, director. I used to do that when I was younger. And I can't direct as much as I would like to, although I'm sure if I were forced to do it, I could do it. But producing, I can, in a way, just tell people what to do, get this idea out and make sure they do it correctly. So in that sense, I'm still producing. I got a couple of other ideas, and if you or your fans have some great ideas and scripts, I would love to do one about Hawaii, actually. Do you have a script?
Well, I know you've talked about doing Charlie Chan again. Are you still serious
Oh,
about that?
wouldn't that be something? As you know, the original Charlie Chan was a skinny guy like myself, Chinese, and he had a great book of cases that he solved with his knowledge as a detective and wise old man. So that would be sort of a counteract the old uh, 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 guys that I played with, Carol Nash. I hate that image of him putting on his eyepieces and slanting, and that kind of got me sick. And even the original ones that got so popular, Warner Roland with Key Luke as the son, and Benson Fong, all those people were happy playing just the son. Uh, but when I came to Hollywood, I did those roles, but I wanted something better. And now I'm 95 years old, and I am so happy that we are winning awards and like everything everywhere all at once. And all my colleagues are getting bigger roles. But there's really not enough equality yet. You don't see enough Asians on the screen playing the heroes and the main characters rather than just being a gimmick role on the side. I lived through many years of being sort of like a sideline actor, a character actor, right? Now it's time to play the lead.
Yeah, tell me about the lead character. I know you're the grandfather in the movie. Tell me about this role and how active did you have to be in this role?
Oh, okay. I'm sure glad you used the word active. We had to drive up to the mountains here in LA and climb through the forest and the hills. And as you see in the movie, I had to cross a bridge that was very narrow, led by my magic cane, you know. So it was quite taxing. It took every effort I could, in you know, force out of myself to walk that bridge or do crazy things, you know, energetic things, run around, escape the ghost, for instance, you know. Uh, but I managed to do it. I imagine I still could do one more sequel, maybe, you know. However, but the thing is, see, we also went on location to Susan, what's the name of that town in Arizona? Um, huh? Globe, the little
Sure.
town Globe in Arizona.
Yeah.
Just a tiny one. We drove a long ways to get to Globe. And I'm telling you, the people are wonderful. They're so friendly. I've forgotten how a little town, how the people can enjoy each other and, you know, and welcome us filmmakers because they didn't get many filmmaking people there. And so they would give us the best of the motels and locations, you know, many locations are given to us for free. The high school, when you see the whole high school, they would give us that location for the ending scene at the high school for no rental. But and I hope they will tune in and watch their own efforts because all those students just came and be part of the film, you know.
Mhm.
Very, very good people. I wish LA was more like that.
Let's just talk a little bit more about your role in this movie. So, did you have any stunts, or did you have a stunt double filling in for you when things got a little bit too crazy? Or
Um, we
any?
weren't even familiar with the word stunt double. We didn't have one, I don't think. So if and I did my own martial arts, thank goodness I did know enough to fight my own scenes, you know, and but nobody really got hurt. But there's no super violence, you know what I mean? There's good fighting and a lot of special effects, whatever we could muster from our budget. You'll see, you know, there's a lot of action, but nobody, and that's what the reviewers say, you know, there's no so-called outrageous violence. So that's why it's a young people's film.
Yeah. Speaking of young people being around them, does that help keep you young?
How can you help it, you know? You wish you were that young again, and but then just by being around them, I think you capture some of that spirit, and it makes you young again. That's the way it is, and that's why I love films because when you're around people, you sort of take in part of what they're doing, you know, or their karma. Like Jack Nicholson, when I work with him, it's a great pleasure to be with great actors and young actors. But with Jack Nicholson, you how can you help it but drink in what he's giving you, you know? And he loves what I'm doing, what I did in you know in Chinatown and the sequel. So I saw him in basketball oh quite a few years ago. Now I don't know if he goes to the Lakers game anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're losing.
Well, you mentioned Chinatown, just one of so many roles you've had over what, 7 decades or so. What do you credit for your longevity in your career? What do you credit for that?
Well, first of all, I credit that unknown quality inside of me that means desire to be an actor, you know, because as you know, I graduated from SC as a civil engineer, and I did that for a couple of years, but that desire and that whatever that drives me inside to be an actor, I had to say goodbye to the chief engineer and kiss the civil service goodbye for that time. And also, my wife, first wife, wanted me to go and teach in a university in Iowa. and I was tempted to do so, to go with her and the family. But it's that desire to be actor, that overcame the desire to be a teacher and settle in Iowa, and I
Yeah.
stayed here, and I'm so glad I did, because, now I've been giving all those honors this last few years, having the star on the Walk of Fame, and the handprint and footprint on the sidewalk of the Hollywood Theater. So at least I accomplished in my life what I wanted to be as far as an actor. Of course, I miss my children and that family life at certain times, but I guess that's the sacrifice you have to give if you want to be whatever you want to be in life.
Yeah. Now, I was just wondering what do you credit your longevity to? Is it your versatility, or what was it that kept you going? I mean, you've been able to play so many different roles for so long. What do you credit?
Uh-huh. I guess it's that, just like you, so, if we talk about somebody else, their minds go in one way and they're happy doing what they do. But for you and me, our minds are always going in big wheels, and we want to create more things and do better things for the Asian Americans, because we were kind of stepped on in Hollywood for a long time. And that just motivated me to do more, and form the East West Players, help the actors, and I love to do a tape on acting, my method of acting, and to let you know, or I'm about to sign the agreement to do my memoirs in a book, and that will come out probably next year sometime. So it's a very rewarding time in my life. I'm glad I lived to be 75 to appreciate it.
What, you have a name for the book yet?
Uh, don't have a name.
Not yet.
Actually,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
something like From Minnesota to Hollywood or whatever, you know. But the Minnesota kid or something, But it's all about how I was born in Minneapolis in my dad's herb store, and and doing nothing as far as acting except in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
And from that to now is what I accomplished in my life.
I know, such an incredible story. Um, of course, I'm talking to you from Honolulu. Any special ties you have with Hawaii? Some things that we can try to localize the story with. Do you have any certain ties with Hawaii at all?
Well, the people that know my career, uh, and certainly the producers of Hawaii Five-0, have to remember that I did approximately 5 episodes of the original Five-0. And in a sense, in those days, a person, an actor, can do different roles. And so I went to your country there, and each time I did a different character. If you look up my IMDb, I was never the same character. But now you can't do that, although I did one episode in the recent 5-0. But at that time, I sat across from your main hotel there on the coast, and I could see the ocean. Now you can't see the ocean because it's all real estate, right? Buildings and whatnot. So it was a great pleasure to live in the Kahala Hilton and see the ocean clean and clear. Uh, uh, what can I say? I was there when show business was being born in Hawaii, so it was a great pleasure. And I did other things as far as films in Hawaii. So I have a very warm spot for your land there, your island, and the people. I talk about warm-hearted. You people really know that aspect of life, how to treat human beings like they are really friends.
Yeah, we got to get you back out here soon, though. I keep telling you, you have to come out here. We'll have a tribute for you, a dinner, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We'd love to have you out here.
Well, we talked a little about maybe I
Yeah,
can come to your university or college and
yeah,
teach a class acting if we can arrange it, next year maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move on
I
from the
just
movie
do a
right now.
nightclub. I started as a stand-up comic, so maybe I can do a comedy act of just ad lib in your one of your hotels.
We would love to have that.
Yeah, that would be
You're a
great.
legend, James. Um, look, let me just ask you a couple of questions about aging well. Let's see. She wanted me to ask you how acting gives you joy, passion, and a youthful spirit. How does acting give you joy inside and passion?
Okay, that's a very good question because what kind of joy do you get? It seems like when I do a scene, whether with Jack Nicholson or Everything Everywhere All at Once with Michelle Yeoh, I step into the script and then into the scene and do the scene. And when they say action, there's something inside of James Hong that just roll with the scene, roll with the character. You don't know what it is. It's just that the great God up there gave you a certain talent to do that, you know. And in a way, the 5 roles, different characters I did in Hawaii 5 and also the probably 8 different characters in Kung Fu, uh, the original TV with Carradine, is that something inside of me when they say action, my ability and give God-given talent just jumps into shape, and I do that character, you know, and that's the rewarding part of it. When I see it on screen, I said, "Wow, you know, I accomplished something there." And as the producer of a Kung Fu TV series, he says, James, whenever I cannot find an actor to do a role in my series, I just call upon you. You know, so that's my reward. I haven't received a direct Oscar given to me for my acting, but uh, that's the way it is. The industry felt that way about me, and I felt that way about the industry. So that's how I got my so-called 700 credits on for acting, you know, or voice, including voiceover.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
it's amazing, and I like to teach people out there how to accomplish the same thing.
yeah. You kind of touched on this already, but how has your career helped open doors for other Asian Americans following you?
How do I what?
How did your career help open doors for other people who followed you?
Okay. Well, I know be it in my memoir, but I formulated the first acting class in Hollywood. It was with the Joe Sargent, who won some Emmys later. He started teaching the Asian American class when he first came to Hollywood. And then, of course, I formed other clubs uh, to help the cause of the Asian Americans. And the biggest one of them all would be East-West Players, you know, who's now the biggest theatrical entity in the United States as far as Asian Americans and the longest living. And they're very, very active now. And every actor I know of has gone through the East-West Players, you know, and they're still very strong and seeking funds to expand even more.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I think what she was trying to get at is because you had so many roles on TV and movies, how did that help open the doors for other actors? Because you were able to be a pioneer in that. Can you
mhm,
address that question? I think that's what she was
I
trying to.
see. Okay, so I think the actors seeing me in these different roles say, yes, I don't have to be just one type. I shouldn't be into a cliche one type of actor. Try to expand your ability and your talent into the different aspects of acting. Don't get too small. See if you can free yourself, free your emotions and talent into the different aspects of acting. Because if you close in and just be that one character, what have you done with your life? You know, not that much. But if you can expand, it's like any artist, whether you're a painter or a dancer, if you can expand that talent to different aspects of expression, you've done something wonderful. You know, that's what you were created for as an artist, to expand your talent into the different areas.
You must get this almost all the time, but young actors, Asian American actors coming up to you saying, James, you inspired me to get into acting, or seeing you up there, really meant so much to me. Do you hear a lot of that?
Uh, yes, but mainly it's in the other way they say it, you know. Like yesterday, I was the waiter was waiting on me, young man, and he says, I love you in Balls of Fury. Well, I thought, I said, gee, you know, hardly anybody's mentioned that one. But so in a way, people enjoy different movies that I've been in, Balls of Fury or Chinatown or Everything Everywhere All at Once. So it's amazing how people like what I do in Kung Fu Panda, for instance. You know, a lot of Kung Fu Panda, 4 people, 3, 2, 1 have come up to me, and I do a little voice like, Paul, what are you doing upstairs, Paul? Come on down. There's a lot of people here who want noodles. Hurry up, Paul. You know, so I do a little voice, and it makes their day. You know, so it's wonderful to be recognized and entertained by my talent.
Yeah, that's great. I only have about 9 minutes left on the Zoom. What do
Oh,
you
really?
want your legacy to be, James? Your legacy?
Hmm. In a way, I sort of done it already, and just to pass on what I've done to the young people out there, whether they're fans or students of acting, just take it in the fact that you're created for some reason on this earth, and please find it and go after it.
And well, it kind of leads to my last question. What is your advice for viewers on how can they age gracefully? How can you, what are your advice for others to age gracefully?
Age gracefully.
Yeah, what's your advice on that?
Before I forget, everybody out there tuning in, be sure to keep up with me in the, my wife handed this note to the James Hong Instagram, okay? Because that's where you're going to see this, all the ins and outs of this movie,
Okay,
Keepers of the Five Kingdoms.
okay.
And so what was the original question?
So, what's your advice for others to age gracefully? How to age
Age
gracefully?
gracefully.
Yes.
Well, for one thing, for sure, you have to do some kind of exercise, whether it's a training program or just your own. I kind of marry the two together, because I formulated or helped my martial arts teacher open the first martial arts school here in Los Angeles. That's how long ago, you know. So he taught me a lot, and I still remember the basics, what he taught me. And then now I realize why he said to hold your fist, for instance, like, you know, put your fingers together like this as tight as you can, and then roll your fingers into the fist, and then put the thumb against that, so that this then becomes iron. Basic things like that you learn, you know. Because usually people just hold their fist and box like this, but he taught me how to use your fist as an iron ball. Okay, so anyway, so do some exercise, and my wife tells me that I should walk 5 blocks and come back. I can't do 5, but at least, you know, keep the legs going, and be sure to eat your vitamins or the food that is good for you. Not too much deep fried stuff, but a lot of vegetables, uh, you know, and just enjoy yourself. And of course, in Hawaii, you would swim a lot, you know. So just do exercise, keep moving, because you got to keep loose, you know. Bum, 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 bum.
How about to stay mentally sharp?
Yeah,
How about to
that
stay and to stay mentally sharp? What do you do?
mentally sharp. I don't have to say force myself too much. In fact, I have to tone it down. It's just that same mind that was here 50 to 70 years ago. It's still there, still want to do things, you know. So I'm going to retire, I imagine, sooner or later, but you can't stop the mind and the body wanting to do the things when you were young, right? However, I will have to, like you say, age gracefully. And if you can tell me how, let me know.
You're doing a great job of doing it. You're a real inspiration to all of us. So thank you so much for joining me today, James. And we'll probably run this story tomorrow on our newscast. But I'm serious, you know, when you're ready to come out here to Hawaii, let me know and we'll
Okay.
work out a deal so we can make the most of your time while you're out here.
Okay,
You
sounds
know,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Always good to see you again.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Aloha,
Okay.
aloha.
Good luck with the movie. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.